we are moving towards a better understanding of seed systems. We're looking at more refined and targeted interventions. So we have tried globally to spread the message that you have to do really good assessments to make sure that we're doing effective seed activities and not having Groundhog Day free seed for everyone all over the world. We also started to look at really pushing market-based interventions, so looking at how we can support local markets. What happened over the years, and I think Louise would probably agree, is that there was this massive shift. Okay, so we can't do free seeds, so let's all go do vouchers. Let's all do seed fairs. And we started seeing that that treatment was being given the same kind of rubber stamp without really doing an in-depth analysis and assessment. So our push globally has been to help partners and donors and everyone working in seed systems to realize that there are assessment tools that could be used, to realize that when we use those assessment tools, we're actually supporting our beneficiaries, we're supporting our market systems, we're spending our money more wisely, and hopefully having a more lasting impact. I think I said enough. Should we go ahead with the movie?
Yeah, right. So we're starting about how to assess, but how do you start to think about seed security and its different features?
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Which feature of seed security will give the best payoff? Not just what you like, but which will give the best payoff. Yeah.
Okay, so this starts with the bang. So let's shut the lights. And there's a lot of text, a lot to digest, but I think it's a really effective tool. So.
But it's just 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So before we go to response, we just want to say that they're very quick tools that can help you think about the seed system. Have all of you seen seedsystem.org? Yeah, let me just put it on for a few minutes, and then we'll get on to the next. Okay, so this is funded by AID but others. This is not a commercial advertisement for AID. It's to say you are great thinkers. And right now, what it has is assessment tools. Okay, so if you want to, you don't need to open that, but if you want to learn how to do it, learn to do an assessment in 1 or 2 weeks, how do you do it? Yep.
Yep. You mentioned it takes 2 to 3 weeks to
Yep.
do. Who are you assuming has? Like, who does this assessment? Like, are we assuming it's an international person from the U.S. going over?
Well, people who are going to intervene do the assessment if you're going to intervene in the site. So it's often it could be an NGO with the government, with the UN. It's usually a coalition of people. But good. So it takes 2 to 3 weeks, and actually we're just about to do a training course on how to do them. But it's, instead of just giving seed now in Zambia and Zimbabwe and Lesotho, do an assessment and find out if it's needed. And actually the tools show you how to do it. What's interesting here is open this one on field assessments around the world. Yeah, what do you do? So basically we've done, and we as 50 organizations, we've done base assessments in many places in the Congo, Ethiopia, Haiti, Kenya, Madagascar, go down, Malawi, Sierra Leone. I was just in northwest Syria. What's interesting is that, like somewhere like, many of you work in Malawi, right? Or let's go Haiti now. Let's go Haiti. Haiti's H, right? So we did a huge assessment in English and French in 2010, which has all the baseline information about Haiti, not just the acute, but which varieties are there, where they're adapted, what are the agro-enterprises, where can you get quality seed, who's multiplying seed. If you're working in Haiti now, you just need to do something quickly to update this. But you don't need to restart. So we've done assessments in many of the hot spots of the world. I don't even want to talk about Congo, Bill, but Congo, Kivu. This one was done in Katanga, I think, right? So if you're working in South Sudan, right, South Sudan right now, I don't know if you can do seed stuff except for aid, but right before the referendum, we mapped with like 15 organizations all the seed systems across South Sudan. So you can go here and try to update it. That's the main thing I want to say. Yeah.
It's also important to note the programmatic implications of these. Louise is very modest, but the Haiti one came out of a huge push. I mean, we were getting calls on the phone right after the earthquake, and people were saying, people are going to die if you don't hand out seed. Get the seed out now. And we thought, that doesn't sound quite right. So Louise and the whole team went out and did the assessment and ultimately discovered, I don't know if you'll talk about this later,
so Haiti, and it wasn't Louise, it was 10 organizations.
Okay.
No, but go ahead.
But ultimately, the areas that were most seed insecure were nowhere near the earthquake affected areas.
So just guess. I'll buy someone the free coffee out there. Guess. This is the Haiti earthquake, massive. And who was there in the Haiti earthquake? Who's on the ground? Anyone in the room? Oh, you guys, you missed all the action. But, you went to Haiti, and for the first 5 kilometers, you could not move your car out of Port-au-Prince because there were so many organizations giving aid. Okay. So we did almost 1,000 households, 983. Guess how much seed came from all of that aid? The farmers planted.
0.
Okay, well, there was a lot of money, so the 0 would have been real corruption, but you're close. 4%. All the publicity of we're saving farmers, they're going to die, they're not going to have anything to plant, all that aid, 4% of the seed was aid. So it makes us think. Okay, so this site has some baselines. Just go back to the main thing, if you don't mind, just quickly. Okay. So what I want to say is right now, a lot of it, because we're funded by OFD at the beginning, is emergency and recovery. But next month, we're moving to developmental options. So this is going to be everywhere from emergency, chronic stress, to developmental. So if you guys also have things you really want to post, seed-related responses to help people think. This is not our site. How do we put everything in one place? Increasingly, I think if you go down here, thank you, Abby, for kind of doing this. We have videos if you want to teach. We have the article of the month, just provocative things from all over the world. We're doing blogs. We're trying to make this as a site which doesn't ignore the commercial sector, but says what else is there that we can bring things together. Okay. These here, going down here, these webinars are particularly interesting. So we have a lot here. These 2 are on PICS, hermetic storage. This is on vegetable garden projects. This is AVRDC. We have others on other things, just good teaching aids. Okay, next, back to the PowerPoint. Thanks.
Are you interested, or is there an effort to link additional assessments on that site?
Yes.
I mean, we funded FAO to do assessments across 4 or 5 different countries in Southern Africa.
Yeah.
This current response.
Yeah.
It was late, but
yeah, the implementation, the response was decided before the assessments came in. Yeah, you did. And those FAO assessments, yes, we are. We just you know that we just finished in Ethiopia, something you funded, but FAO together. So we've issued our first joint FAO plus others assessments in Ethiopia. Absolutely. This is transparent, and we're not saying necessarily we give the stamp of approval, but if you're going to do an assessment, of course we share it. Let's get a culture that says seed security assessments are there, and let's learn from it. So we have to talk about standards. Let's talk about standards so we don't put junk up, right? But how do we get this on the table? And I'm running over because I talk yet. Bill.
Honestly, since the first of the year when I heard about this CRS, this meeting and everything, I somehow found the link to your site here, and I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah.
But does it have examples of, I think I mentioned when I came in, like Malawi's got a lot of, linkages of formal, informal sectors, and in Ghana, the project, we're getting smallholders involved in commercial. There's a lot of really good examples of where linkages are happening on the ground.
Yeah, it has to go there. So this site, this site is about 2.5 years old, and now we have about 20,000 users. And at the beginning, the purpose of the site was to get these tools in the public domain. So instead of hiding our tools, to get them in the public domain so people could critique them, make them better. So the first 2.5 years of the site have been doing the tools there in English, in French, and Arabic, getting them in the public domain, training people. And then we had an emergency section, emergency recovery, and all sorts of things. Now we're moving to the more developmental stuff. So join us. Suggest things to post. We just want to be a forum for discussing these issues openly. Great point. Okay, we're moving now to you guys. Seed security, we just said matching responses. Okay, just go down to the next, please. So I'm sure you all know this framework really well. Right? So it's the food security framework. You know it. So seed has to be available. There, you have to have seed. That's what it means, available. So appropriate crops. Access. People have to be able to get it, purchase it, barter it. And then quality in seeds, there are two aspects which are really distinct. One is it has to be healthy, not sick. It has to germinate. The other is totally different. It has to be the right variety and adaptive, right crop. And particularly in emergency, we often go for healthy seed, but not necessarily the right crop or right variety. So for seed, always think about, it's called seed quality per se, and this is called variety quality. So is the variety okay? Is the crop and variety okay? And then it's the seed quality okay. Find out. Okay, so you're going to end up doing this, but you say, okay, what is my problem I'm trying to solve here? So, okay, if seed is unavailable in an emergency, then you do direct seed, right? So there's no seed anywhere, you bring in seed. Seed aid. But there are countries like I said, Ethiopia's had seed aid 40 years. If seed is unavailable again and again and again, do you keep on giving seed aid? Or do you do something else? So it's here, I kind of think the U.S. government and the Europeans should say, if I give seed aid more than 3 or 4 seasons in a row, review it, because something is wrong. But if seed is not available again and again, then you have to build up seed sectors. Rare. Okay, so if farmers don't have access to seed, you might give them access in the short term by vouchers or cash. Okay? But if farmers can't access seed again and again and again, they can't pay for it. That's not a seed issue. That's agro-enterprise development, income generation. It's a totally different issue. Go down here. If the seed is of poor quality, the stuff stinks, right? Well, in the short term, you might distribute samples of quality seed. But really, seed quality is not a short-term issue. It's more chronic stress development issue. Right? So you have to work on seed companies giving quality. You might work on community-based enterprises working. You might get quality in local markets. And then, of course, the variety seed is not the varieties are terrible. The crops. You might give new varieties a new crop. Might. But really, lots of new varieties is a totally different issue. And I say this right now because right now, we, the U.S. government, our land-grant universities, let's say like Michigan State, in Haiti, we're using emergency aid to get in new varieties. That's what we're doing. But it really is the wrong response, just to be honest. So what, yeah, Jonathan, yeah.
When there's new varieties being introduced, is there an assessment to make sure, because you talked about farmer acceptability?
Yeah.
So to test that
Is there?
acceptability, is there or not?
You know what, again, another gap issue. people say, well, this is a great variety, and the breeder says it's a great variety. But we have situations like in Haiti where new varieties are being introduced, but they've never even been tested on farm. So in some cases, there should be an assessment. There should be a pre-assessment. New varieties in emergency, right? Is it adapted? Have farmers tested it before? What is the evidence? And in fact, if you go back to the website on seedsystem.org, there's a policy technical brief on just there, should you introduce varieties in emergency situations? If so, what's the 6-point checklist? Good point. Okay. Yeah, CP.
As a new variety, does that ever or can it be paired with food aid so that if you're working at a place that is getting food, I'm just thinking like in drought-prone areas, sorghum. People don't like it, but if that's what is available right now as aid, and then you also introduce that as a crop, like has that been tried? Is that?
Interesting. How do you? I mean the same crop, some food and some seeds?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, interesting. I don't know if that's been true. We have food protection rations. You know about that, right? I think the main thing here is that, and then I'll let it be, emergencies should not be there to introduce risk. And also, emergencies should not be the main ways that we get new varieties out. So there's those two things. But you can use an emergency to introduce some innovation if you're cautious. And that's what we're going to map now, when you can do that and when you can't. Does that make sense to you? But right now, we in the U.S., but others, are using South Africa, Haiti, Ethiopia as the main way that we diffuse new varieties. Bill, do you want to say something? And then I want to divide it.
Well, just a problem in acute responses that deal with seed.
Yeah.
You're usually talking the need for large quantities, meaning it's got to be commercially available. You're not going to find sorghum commercially available. You're not going to find, pigeon pea or even grown, well, some grown, but I mean, you're probably going to find maize. Where they got an emergency, crisis, got to get seeds out. They're going to go and they're going to buy South African maize, possibly from the highlands.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless the donor or the procurer allows for a different quality of seed. So if you just go for certified seeds, you get maize horticultural seed a few crops. In Ethiopia, just now, I was there, they commissioned traders to bring in, who was me? Cowpea and barley. So the Ethiopian government went to quality declared seed, and we got cowpea and barley.